Hi students, in this video I'll be going through the 2023 O-Level A Math Paper 1 question 4. Alright, so this is a question regarding differentiation and integration. Alright, so let's take a look at part A of the question. So for part A, we're asked to find the derivative of the product of x times e to the power of negative 2x. Okay, so since we're asked to find the derivative of the product of two terms, okay, so this one being the first term, and then this e to the power of negative 2x being the second term, okay, we will need to use the product rule. All right, so we'll need to use the product rule. Okay, so the product rule is actually very easy to apply. Okay, so basically what we'll do is we'll differentiate the first term, okay, so and leave the second term alone, okay, for the first part. Okay, so if you differentiate x, you'll just get 1. Okay, then we leave the second term alone. Okay, then now we'll add 2. Okay, now you'll do the opposite instead. You'll leave the first term untouched and you'll differentiate the second term. Okay, so to differentiate e to the power of negative 2x is very easy. Okay, basically what you have is this e to the power of negative 2x remains the same. Okay, but now you will differentiate the power or find the derivative of the power. So if you differentiate negative 2x, you'll get negative 2, and then you will just multiply it in front. Okay, so what we'll have is this. Right, so we just tidy up and we are done for the first part. So this, okay, we'll bring the negative 2x in front, and then, okay, so this will be the answer for part A, right? Okay, for the second part of the question, we are asked to find the integral of x times e to the power of negative 2x. Okay, so if the question says hence, okay, so you must take a cue from this. It means that they want you to make use of the answer that you got in part 1. All right, so basically what we'll do is that you need to understand that integration is the reverse of differentiation. So if I differentiate x times e to the power of negative 2x, so this is differentiation, and then I will get this result, right? So if I were to integrate this result and I will go backwards and get back the original term before I differentiated it. So this is integration. Okay. Okay, so this is how differentiation and integration works. So as such, I will try to make use of this result. I will plug this whole thing inside here. Okay, so this whole thing I will plug it inside here. So I will just write it over here. Okay, then I will put it over here. Okay, then over here you need to ask yourself one question. What the question wants is x times e to the power of negative 2x. But over here I have two terms. Okay, and none of the terms is the same. Okay, but the one that looks similar will be this one. Okay, this is the one that looks similar. Okay, this term. Okay, just that in front here, the original question is just an x, but down here is a negative 2x. So now I need to ask, we need to ask ourselves one question. What times negative 2x e to the power of negative 2x will give me what the question wants, this one. Okay, so for the question mark will be negative half. Okay, so as such, I will need to put a negative half in front. All right. Okay, then now we need to see what's going to happen. Okay, so what do we have on the right side now? If I multiply this one inside, okay, multiply inside, right? I will get negative half e to the power of negative 2x. Okay, if I multiply negative half to this, then of course I will get what I need. Okay. Okay, so what I need is over here, but now I have an extra negative half times e to the power of negative 2x over here, an extra term. Okay, so to compensate for this extra term, right, on the right side, I will need to add back the same term. Okay, so I'll add back this. So this negative half times e to the power of negative 2x, if I add to this, then it becomes 0. Then the left and the right side will now be equal. All right, so this is what how we handle a question like this. Okay, so the next part is, okay, you look here. So as mentioned earlier, if I integrate this one, okay, so this one is the same as this particular term over here. Okay, so let me erase away some things, okay, to make it clearer. Okay, so remember this term, these two terms are exactly the same. So if I integrate this, I will get back the original result. So what I will get from here will just be the x times e to the power of negative 2x. Right? Then to finish up the question, all I need to do is integrate this one. Okay, and this one is quite easy to integrate. Okay, so there's a half. You integrate an exponential function. Okay, so what we will get is the half e to the power of negative 2x. Okay, so the final step that you need to do is you need to differentiate the power. Okay, and for differentiation, you will differentiate the power and times in front. But now we are doing integration. You will differentiate the power, and instead of times in front, you will just divide the constant c that you need to add in for indefinite integral. Right? Okay, so the final answer will then just be negative half x e to the power of negative 2x. Then half divided by negative 2, you will get negative 1/4 e to the power of negative 2x plus c. Right, so this is how you manage a question like this. Okay, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of marks involved, but the working is not long. 3 marks for part 1, and then 4 marks for part 2. Right.